뭐가 Hi, good morning, my friend. Today I'm going to do a coffee chat, and coffee chat always something can help me. I don't know if you can see Poopy. Poopy is right here in this box. It's right here. Anyway, coffee chat always something that make me kind of sit down and really think about things and be still and quiet. So thank you for being part of this space that I can chat with you about my thoughts, about things I learned or things I have a question about. Yeah, get your coffee and let's have a short, quick coffee date. We're going to join us too. I have taken notes and prepare all the things that I want to chat with you a couple of days ago, and this morning I woke up. I feel I don't want to really talk about specifically what I have prepared, but there's something inside of me really want to kind of share something with you. So I feel since I'm so still at the moment, it must be I download something from the universe and trying to get through me to you. So yeah, I'm going to change my topic today. I want to talk about boredom. I don't know if you will think it has nothing to do with creativity, but boredom is something I have been experienced for a long time since I decided to work as a filmmaker. That's pretty much how I feel and how I struggled. There were days after days I was struggling and couldn't do anything that's you can call it productive. And time passed by real fast since I started making my first movie. I started writing the screenplay in 2016, and at the time from 2016 to 2021, which is now, has fly by. And most of those time back then I feel I was wasting them because I was in an enormous boredom, not sure what to do, feel restless, that kind of state. I have been working on my mental health for the entire past year, and also I'm very busy now because I have taken on day job in order to finance my film and then to restart my life after the disruption. I don't have as many chance to experience the boredom that I used to experience, and now I find myself craving it. I want to explain to you why boredom is such an important thing, no matter it's for our creativity or for our mental health. Here's the thing. I think we are all looking for that stimulation constantly. The stimulation of the next thing, the thing that excites us, the thing that inspires us, the thing that kind of gives us that spark and then that excitement to start working on something. That's something that I used to have for a long time, and because I was constantly looking for that, I feel restless and I didn't know what should I do. I didn't know if I'm talented enough. I didn't know if I'm meant to be a filmmaker or a writer, because I just couldn't get myself to have that spark to sit down and actually produce something with great passion. That kind of moment will come from time to time. It's not that it never exists, but it's not the majority of my life and my days. I think it has a lot to do with how media, especially movie and TV shows, train us to perceive that's how it works if you mean to do something, if something is your passion. Like in the movie, the urge to make something, to figure out something, and you wake up in the morning, if first thing that's what you do, and then you went to bed at night, that's the last thing you are doing. Almost like you have so much passion in you towards something that you don't need to eat, you don't need to make friends, you don't do anything, you forgot the world around you. People call that flow, the flow state. But we can't actually live inside the flow state 24/7 all the time. And I think this myth has caused majority of us stop creating things, because the idea of that you need to find that flow state constantly, you need to have that inspiration, that spark, has become so toxic in our mind that made us feel that we are not good enough, make us question ourselves. So that's when we stop doing the work. That's when we start having the fear. That's when we start giving up on things that we love. I think before I become a filmmaker, I used to have the idea of, I feel great when people talking about, Nani, you are talented. When I hear that, my ego feels great. But when I actually start on this journey and meet the reality, when people tell me that you are talented while I'm sitting at home staring at a blank page and not knowing what to do, or couldn't get myself to have that spark motivation to do the work, I feel the reality is not what I imagined. And then that's when the moment I start having so many self-doubts and a question about myself. But at the same time, even I had the thoughts that maybe I'm not meant to do this, I want to give up, but it never come to a time that I really actually want to give up. I feel I was quite stubborn. I feel no matter what I'm going through, the idea of making movie, the idea what I want to do is always coming back to my mind. And I think that's probably what it means about doing what you love. It's not what you love to do constantly all the time, but it's more of, it's the idea of the thing keep coming back to your mind. I don't know if I'm making sense. I find what's interesting is I have had that long period of 2 to 3 years of time, spend a majority of time sit with myself, experience the boredom that I had, and those time is the time that I start questioning about myself. And then because the idea of I want to do movie, I want to be a writer, so persist inside of my mind, that make me start seeking, then what's the real reality? And during those time, throughout the boredom, I have had so many thinking and then progress, and then build up some solitude inside of me. I can't quite explain that kind of feeling, but I feel more and more content with myself after reading books about other artists, their bios and their experience. And I find this just a common thing of that you have to just experience the boredom of facing a blank page, the boredom of doing things over and over in a way that almost feel like you creating yourself a 9-to-5 job, that kind of routine. And then that kind of boredom is what gradually take a long time, is what kind of gradually make you feel more stable within yourself, and then you create that huge space for yourself to think. and you kind of open yourself up for possibilities, for ideas came in. Only when we being bored, that's when we start looking inwardly to observe ourselves, to observe our emotion, to be more present, to observe the world and get inspired. This is some topic I bring up a lot in my channel about the stimulation the world trying to give to us and trained us to looking for, to craving that stimulation all the time. You know the feeling of that you're scrolling on social media and you just keep scrolling as if you're looking for something pop up and give you excitement or something there, but when you keep scrolling, it's like nothing, it's like mindless, nothing's really there in the content for you. It's not like you enjoy all the content that you see anyway. So I feel it's the same thing. It's almost like we constantly in a state of looking for that spark, that excitement in life as well. As if being a genius, being an artist, being somebody who meant to be succeed is someone who have that urge to create, to make something all the time. But that's not true. Almost all the people who have succeed, I don't know if it's every single of them, but I know it's majority, like 99% of people, they just showed up every single day and do the work. As Maya Angelou said once in an interview, she's not waiting for that excitement, that spark, but she just do the work.
Was it your mother who said, when Maya starts to write, she becomes obsessed with it?
Well, I suppose I do. I don't know if about obsessed. I don't think my mother would say that. But I go away. I keep a hotel room.
Really?
I keep a hotel room, and I leave for it about 6 o'clock in the morning, and I go into it. I try to be at work by 7. I keep a dictionary, Roget's Thesaurus, a Bible, cigarettes, bottle of sherry, and playing cards. And I stay in there until 12:30, writing, longhand. If the work is going well, I'll stay longer. But if it's going horribly, I don't leave. Now,
it's mostly about your own life, your past, by and large.
Well, whatever I'm writing. I mean, I may be writing a screenplay, but I go to work. Hawthorne says easy reading is damned hard writing. So I go to work. I realize it is work that I'm going to. This is not, I'm waiting for the light bulb to go off over my head, so dig like I can feel where I'm coming. I don't do that. I go to work.
I start developing more and more gratitude towards boredom. The boredom of that I have to sit there, do nothing, maybe have a blank page in front of me. The time and the space, the hours that I can have just sit there, no phone, no TV, not doing anything, not connecting or talking to anyone. I start having a gratitude towards that space because I feel like that space is the space that I can finally spend a period of time to settle down my mind, to become more slow and slow enough that I can actually think properly. That's when I can create. As I taking on extra work, extra projects, and my day job, and all the things going on in my life, I lost that space. I find myself being less creative, and I'm not that receptive to the inspiration that universe is sending to me. You can put it that way. By the way, I always put in this way because I always believe that we should detach ourselves with our ideas, inspiration, all that stuff, because they are not belongs to us, and we shouldn't take them personal. That's another whole topic. So when I just starting out my day job, I was trying to cram everything in every hours. I time block everything so specifically. I didn't leave any space for my brain to just being bored. I have my day job schedule. Right after I came home, I have a schedule of working on my film and YouTube, all that stuff, and it's really tiring. I feel I gradually become somebody who is uninspired. I feel my brain is not functioning in a way that I would like. I feel it doesn't really thinking properly, more like a machine to execute every task in a way that I don't even enjoy. And now I start practice every single week. I have to leave myself a space, even just a half hour, to do nothing, except that I can have a pen, I can have a paper, just in case I need to write something down. I need to have that 20 to 30 minutes of space to do nothing, to being bored, to set my mind still. And it makes such a huge difference, even though I still work, I don't know, 12, 15 hours a day. But because of that little space of time that I had, if I practice that within that day, I feel much more content and then joyful and inspired. We should all stop looking for that next thing, that moment, that feeling of getting that stimulation. Now when I'm looking back to the years that I have with a lot of time and space to being bored, and the struggle of writer's block, doesn't feel enough, not sure if I'm doing the right thing, I appreciate that time, because I actually learned and grew out of that space. And it was a long process till today that I'm able to get things done without thinking too much, that I'm able to build up the routine of a consistency. Yeah, so nothing good is gonna happen just like that. We need to train ourselves to do the same thing over and over and over until we get to the point of that we know what we're doing. And we need to understand that creativity is coming out of boredom. It's not come out of stimulation. So if you feel that you are struggling to put yourself together to do the work, why it's so dreadful every day that you have to execute the routine, and when you facing that blank page, why you feel so uninspired most of the time. And because of that, you start questioning your talent or your passion, or are you really meant to be a writer? I want to let you know you are meant to be a writer. Just because that you showed up in the boredom, you sit there in front of that blank page, even though you don't feel like it, because you are willing to face the boredom and uncomfortableness for something you hope you can do, you want to do. You put yourself in a position of observing yourself. You make yourself get up at a certain time every single day staring at that blank page, or after day job you came home, everybody can watch TV, but you struggle by trying to get that sentence out. All of those behavior means that you are meant to be a writer because you're passionate about it. That's the true passion. Passion is not that you have oceans of inspiration and just can't help it and get everything out on paper. That's not passion. Passion is when it's hard and you're bored and you still have the thoughts of wanting to showing up. And that's truly what you're passionate about. So yeah, let's all get bored and do the mundane things in order to understand ourselves and our craft better. And in the flow state, the inspiration, the excitement will come from time to time for the boredom that we endure and enjoyed. Yeah, and this is all I want to share. Happy boredom. Finish my coffee. I don't even know if this video is gonna make sense because I literally just sit there, ditch off my notes, and talking to myself. Anyway, thank you for watching, and be patient, be present, stay creative. I'll see you next week. Bye. You.